Has everything fallen apart around you? Has the foundation you were standing on crumbled? Are you afraid to move forward because you're standing on rocky ground? Well, the thing is, the past has to crumble in order for us to move forward. But we have to realize that we are the foundation. In creating a solid foundation within ourselves, we can create a solid foundation for our future. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This is the thing. The old self had to break, had to collapse in order to build the new. And we have a fear of moving forward now. We're afraid of the unknown. We're afraid that if we start again, it will all crumble again. But we are a foundation. We are the solid foundation. So in creating better within ourselves, in healing our own wounds, in building stability and safety within, we can build a stronger foundation for our future. This is the thing, right? We built our old foundation based on wounds, based on conditioning, based on our environment, based on the people around us. When we're born a clean slate. We're born empty, we're born unconditionally loving, receptive human beings. But then obviously our surroundings change that. And we create a persona in order to fit in. We create a persona of who we think we should be in order to fit in. And that's the thing, that's the main part of this, is that the old foundation crumbled because it was false. That was inauthentic. We wore a mask in order to be accepted. We wore a mask in order to feel loved, to feel validated. But that mask is what's falling off. We're in this existential crisis because everything has collapsed. Everything we've ever known. Friend systems, family systems, jobs, communities, all kinds of things, everything from our past, it's gone, it's crumbling, it's non-existent, even ourselves. And I think that's the hardest part of all, is not only are we saying goodbye to our physical reality, we're also saying goodbye to ourselves. And I think that's the hardest part. It is hard in letting go of people and situations, things that we've known for such a long time, things that we've become very comfortable with. But who have we become the most comfortable with? Ourselves. So we're actually having to say goodbye to ourselves as well, a past version that does not exist anymore. But it's hard. And we're in this moment of, what the fuck do we do now? The foundation is gone. How do I move forward? There's nothing ahead of me. How do I rebuild? What do I rebuild on? But we're here to create a new foundation. And that new foundation is you. That's it. We're building our future on our own internal solid ground. This is the secret. You know what I mean? We wonder why our past collapsed. We wonder why the foundation broke. But we have to remember that foundation is us. And the reason it collapsed is because we weren't on a steady ground in the first place. We were wobbling the whole fucking way. We had no idea. We fucking winged it. Do you know what I mean? Literally, we were wobbling the whole way. It's like we were shaking the whole way. It's like the whole experience that we had previous to our awakening, it was shaky, it was wobbly, it was unknown, it was scary, it was fear-based, it was lack mentality, it was all of those energies. How are you supposed to build a structure or stability or safety when literally you're just going like this all the time? You're in fight or flight and you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So nothing's going to balance on you. You're not ever going to have a means to build higher if you're constantly going, oh my god, I'm so scared. And that's effectively what it was. We were in an energy of fear. We were in an energy of the funny thing is as well, right? We actually we manifest what we feel. So we don't just manifest what we want, we manifest our fears. So we spent our whole life in fear on this fucking hamster wheel going, oh my god, everything's going to crumble. And guess what? It all fucking crumbled. Because literally it wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. You know what I mean? We were and I have to keep reminding myself of this, because sometimes we're very hard on ourselves for our past. And we're even hard on ourselves for the past crumbling or collapsing. But we're not at fault here. We experienced that part of our lives for a reason. Do you know, that's the thing with the past. You know what I mean? The past doesn't define you, but if we use it wisely, it can actually help you grow. You know what I mean? We are better because of our pasts, even though our pasts were shaky, they were volatile, it was uneven, it was scary. We are better because of it. And, this is one thing I keep saying as well, this old reality was false. It was based on that persona I mentioned. But it was based on fear and lack. It was based on our wounds, our childhood trauma, our past relationship trauma. It wasn't ever really stable. It was never really stable. How could it have been stable? We were not stable. You know, we keep looking outside ourselves, or we keep racing for the next thing, or we think that we have to have material success or stability in order to feel stable within. But this is it. The only reason the past material stuff effectively collapsed is because we weren't stable within. You know what I mean? As I said, we were the rocky foundation. But now, you know, I mean, there's a fear now of moving forward. It's like, if I try this, oh my God, it'll all fucking fall apart. It'll all go wrong. It'll all end again. But you are not who you were. You have shed the old skin of who you were. That has collapsed. You know what I mean? You know, the way I see it as well, like, you know, we were covered in this mask. Our whole body was in this shield, this stone shield, effectively hiding behind this in order to fit in. That whole exterior is crumbling now. That was the foundation, but the real foundation is underneath. You know what I mean? This was a false foundation we put up based, as I said, on wounds. So it was a weak foundation from the very beginning. It wasn't ever in alignment with us, and it had to collapse so that we'd figure out who we are and what we're doing. You know, and as I said, our biggest fear going forward is the same thing happening again. But we are not who we were. When that mask, that external crumbled, we started to discover who we really are. We started to rediscover our strength. And that's it. We're stronger because the past collapsed. We're stronger because of the experiences we went through. So already we have a stronger foundation. Just because of what we've been through so far and what we've escaped or survived so far. So that's one thing, like, you know, we're already stronger because we've escaped that reality. We already shed that mask. Now, after shedding that mask, after shedding that old foundation or that old reality, we go through this, as I said, this kind of existential crisis. We're being pulled between two worlds where we don't know whether to go back and try and rebuild on the old shitty foundation, or can we move forward? But we can't go backwards. That's just not a possibility. You cannot go back because you are not going to ever be that person again. This is the beautiful thing about ascension. Ascension means rising. You know what I mean? We're literally rising all the time. We're going up. So we can't go backwards. It's like the whole river thing. You cannot, you know, the same water will never pass you twice. You know what I mean? And so therefore, the same you is not going to pass you twice. Did you get me? So that no matter, even when you were in the old reality, as you start to move forward, as things started to collapse, you were still ascending. Do you know, the thing, we think we're going down if something collapses, but in actual fact, that crumbled for us to move upwards. And that was it. You know what I mean? So we ascended because of our breakdown, effectively. Do you know what I mean? We ascended out of that. We up-leveled out of it. Every hard decision you make, every person you walk away from, every situation you walk away from, we think that we're being punished, we think that we're being isolated, we're being abandoned. But no, every decision, every intention you make for your highest good will up-level you. Even if it doesn't feel like it in the time, at the time, it is up-leveling, it is upgrading you. You know what I mean? Like, to make the decision to walk away from things that you've known for your whole fucking life, that takes strength. That takes a lot of fucking courage. And that takes that solid foundation that you're already building. You know what I mean? Like, you're literally already, like, just because you made those decisions, you're already structuring this new foundation within yourself. So what do we do now? We introspect. You see, this is the thing, I've said this before. How can you appreciate anything outside of yourself if you don't appreciate what's inside? This is it. Build your foundation. You are the foundation. Build yourself up. The rest will be easy. You know what I mean? You can just keep stacking then. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be no wobble. It's going to be stable. So this is it. You're your stability. You're your solid foundation. You're creating that. And you already have the power to do so. You know what I mean? The decisions you made are making you stronger. healing yourself, this is a so important thing. The most important thing about this ascension journey or your growth journey is your inner healing. Your inner healing. And how do we build a solid foundation? We heal our wounds. You know what I mean? Like, if we're still going around with all the pain from past lives, past childhood trauma, from past relationships, that's going to still continue. It creates cracks in our foundation. It created cracks in our old foundation. But once we continue to do that inner work, that inner healing, we can really create something solid. We really can. We have something so magical that we're building, but we have to trust in the process, trust in ourselves. And this is it. If you're afraid of the future, because obviously with this unknown path ahead of us, it unfolds as we walk it. But you're going to be afraid. You're going to be afraid the past is going to repeat. You're going to be afraid that everything's going to crumble again. But if you make aligned decisions, if you make decisions from your heart and soul, from your intuition, from your higher self, then you can't make the wrong decisions. You know what I mean? Everything that you do decide makes your foundation stronger. Every time you become aware of yourself, aware of your triggers, aware of your emotions, aware of your traumas, aware of everything that you need to heal, the stronger you get, the stronger the foundation gets. So this is what we have to remember. You know what I mean? We're not creating something unknown. We're creating something that's already been within us. And that's a fact. This has already been within us. From day one, we have always been destined to be who we're becoming. But because of that mask we had to break, because of that mask being there, that persona being there, we didn't know. So we're not even creating something unknown. We're finding that we're discovering that within ourselves. So this is so important to understand. The future is being built after you build yourself up first. Build that solid foundation within yourself, and then the rest will be easy. And it is that simple. Okay, obviously that it's hard to do the healing, it's hard to make those decisions. But do you want to go back to a life that's unstable, that's fear-based, that's continuously a struggle or pain? Do you know that you're continuously going around in the same thing, you're continuously feeling that shakiness over and over again, that fight or flight energy? Or do you want to evolve into your next steps? And don't be afraid of your next steps, because all you have to do now is look after you. Build yourself up first. Grow yourself. This is it. If you want to be more reassured about your future, more confident about your future, become more confident within yourself. You are that foundation. You have to build that first. That introspection, that inner healing, that deep work, that letting go of the old energy. Let it go. It was never meant to stay. And your future is aligned. Every time you make that right decision, it is aligned. Everything will work out for you. And you become stronger. I keep saying it, you are the foundation for your future. You really are. So create that solid, stable, safe space within yourself first. And then your future has somewhere stable to land. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a free discovery call today, and love nothing more than to help you on your path. Also, I'm hosting a free Reparent Your Inner Child workshop today at 6 p.m. Ireland UK time. If you want information about that, please comment below. And I have another channel called Aligning with Angie, where I share a guided meditation every week. The info for that is in the description box.